皆さんおはようございます。こんにちは、こんばんは。Welcome to the Japanese Easy News Article of the Day for August 10th, 2026. 2026年8月10日の今日の記事でございます。For our headline today, we have 福島県。赤ちゃんが元気に育つことを祈る。泣き相撲。Here's the short vocab list from our headline. We have 福島県、福島 Prefecture, 赤ちゃん baby, 元気 healthy or energetic, 育つ to grow, 祈る to pray or to hope or to wish, 泣く to cry, and sumo wrestling. Now, jumping back into our headline, we have 福島県. So, 福島 Prefecture, a space here. We're getting more specific. So, in 福島県. 赤ちゃん baby が, so that marks baby or babies as our subject here. They're going to do something or be something. So, we'll need to look out for that verb. 赤ちゃんが元気. So, 元気 means energetic or healthy.Or kind of strong as well. And because it's a not adjective, when it's followed with a ni, we're kind of saying there's going to be an action that happens in a manner like that. So, 元気に would be healthy or strong. And then we do have our verb here, 育つ to grow up. So, 元気に育つ be to grow up in a healthy manner or a strong manner.And then こと, we use こと here because we want to verb a verb, which you cannot do in Japanese. So a lot of times you have to turn that into a noun. こと just means thing. So 元気に育つ be growing up healthily or growing up strong. こと that thing of growing up strong. And then we are trying to 祈る to pray for or hope for these children growing up strong. So we use こと as our thing, and then お that's what we are praying for or hoping for, marking our object, and then 祈る as we mentioned, to pray or to hope for. And then all of that is modifying 泣き相撲. So this is a phrase here coming from 泣く, the verb to cry.And we're putting that into the mas stem, which we can kind of connect it to a noun here. So, 泣き, crying, and then 相撲, coming from sumo. But we add what's called 連絡 here. Sometimes when you're combining two nouns together, the second noun, if it can take the 点々, which is, so we had a su for sumo. If it can take the 点々, sometimes it does. And that's what's going on here. 泣き相撲. So crying sumo. So crying sumo, wherein we hope for or pray for babies to grow up strong and healthy. And here is the rest of our vocab from the article. 伊達市, 伊達 city, 土俵 sumo ring, 大人 adult, 抱っこする to hold or carry something in your arms. Most of the time we use that for children or living things, but you can say 抱っこする for non-living things as well. 近づける to bring something closer to something else. 声 voice. 全然 this is normally used with a negative to mean not this thing at all. So like 全然大丈夫じゃない I'm not okay at all.But normally that's followed by a negative. 全然 something in the negative. 誰 who, 勝つ to win, 負ける to lose, お父さん is father, 思う to think, 食べる to eat.
福島県の伊達市で赤ちゃんの泣き相撲というイベントがありました。相撲のための土俵で2人の赤ちゃんを大人が抱っこして近づけます。大きい声で泣く赤ちゃんがいました。全然泣かない赤ちゃんもいました。誰が勝ったとか負けたとかはありません。みんなで赤ちゃんが これからも元気に育つことを祈ります。赤ちゃんのお父さんは、元気だから泣くのだと思います。たくさん食べて大きくなってほしいですと話していました。
All right, let's jump right into our article.
福島県の伊達市で赤ちゃんの泣き相撲というイベントがありました。
Okay, so we have 福島県の so something of 福島県 This no is kind of possessive or descriptive. 福島県の伊達市 So 伊達 city in Fukushima prefecture. で telling us our location where something's going to happen. Place of action. So in 伊達 city in Fukushima prefecture. 赤ちゃんの So baby の something of 赤ちゃん or babies. 泣き相撲 So we discussed this. Crying sumo というイベント So when we have noun 1という noun 2 This is how we say a noun 2 called noun 1 So 泣き相撲というイベント Bento is an event. So an event called Crying Sumo. Ga, marking our evento as something that's going to do or be something. And the thing it's going to do is aru, to exist. So arimashita. And then we're putting that in the past tense. So in Date City in Fukushima Prefecture, there was an event called Crying Sumo. Or Akachan no There was a baby event called Crying Sumo.
相撲のための土俵で2人の赤ちゃんを大人が抱っこして近づけます。
Okay, so sumo is sumo wrestling. Sumo no tame. So tame is a noun here, but you can kind of think of it as a grammar as well. Tame is for something or on behalf of something. So this sumo no tame would be for sumo. And then we want to connect that to yet another noun. So we're going to use no. A lot of times when we're connecting noun and noun and noun, we're just going to use no. And then dohyo is the ring. So sumo no tame no dohyo, a sumo ring for sumo wrestling. De, once again, our place of action. So in or at a sumo ring for sumo wrestlers. Futari, so futari is two, counting people. Then we are going to use no to attach to the type of person we're talking about, and that is going to be akachan yet again. So futari no akachan, two babies. O, we're going to do something to those babies. They are our object. And then otona is adult, and then marked with ga, so they're going to do something. Dakko shite, dakko suru is to carry or to hold. We're putting that in the te form because we're going to carry them and do something else. And that second verb is chikazukemasu. So chikazukeru in the mas form, just for politeness and formality. That is to bring things close. So in a sumo ring for sumo wrestling, adult will carry two babies and bring them close together, right?
大きい声で泣く赤ちゃんがいました。
Okay, so 大きい is large or big. Koe is voice. When you're talking about a loud voice, in Japanese you say a big voice. 大きい声. De, this de is kind of like in a large voice or loud voice or by means of a loud voice. And then naku is to cry again. So 大きい声で泣く to cry in a loud voice. And all of that is describing akachan. So a baby that cried very loudly or in a loud voice. Ga, it's going to do something, and that verb is imashita or iru in the past tense. So when something exists and it's a living thing, we use iru. If it's a non-living thing, we use aru. So there were or there existed babies that cried in very large voices, very loudly. 全
然泣かない赤ちゃんもいました。
Okay, so then we have zenzen. We talked about this earlier. Zenzen means when it's combined with a negative here, it means not at all. So zenzen nakanai is the negative of naku, to cry. So zenzen nakanai, didn't cry at all. And then akachan. So babies that did not cry at all. Zenzen nakanai akachan. Mo. So we talked about akachans over here that did cry in loud voices. And then we also have this mo saying also babies that did not cry at all. Imashita. So imashita. They also existed. There were also babies who didn't cry at all. And you'll notice mo often takes the place of a particle that would normally be there. So normally we would expect a ga here because the akachan, the baby, is the thing that is existing. But mo, when you're adding it as an also, a lot of times it just takes the place of another particle, and that's what it's doing here. So there were also babies who didn't cry at all. 全然泣かない赤ちゃんもいました。
誰が勝ったとか負けたとかはありません。
Okay, so 誰 is who, ga is going to be marking our 誰 as a person of action. We don't know who it is, but they're going to do an action. And that action is 勝つ or 勝った. 勝つ in the past tense is win. So 勝つ, 勝った. 誰が勝った who won とか or things like that. And then we have 負けた or 負ける to lose in the past tense. Or who lost とかはありません. So things like who won or things like who lost は our main topic or framework here ありません. So once again ある in the negative, existing, but here in the negative it's not existing. So there was nothing like oh who won or who lost. It wasn't a real competition. Now traditionally some of them are competitions. If you read more about this, it's kind of a fun thing. Sometimes it's the first baby to cry who wins. Sometimes it's the first baby to cry or laugh. In various places around Japan, they have this nakizumo, and it's different depending on where you go. But apparently this time at least, they decided to not have winners or losers. It's just, yeah, we're praying to hope that our babies grow strong. And apparently, if they cry, that's a good sign. So.
みんなで赤ちゃんがこれからも元気に育つことを祈ります。
Okay, so みんな is everyone or all of the people there. みんなで by means of, so like everyone together, all of us together. 赤ちゃん, once again, baby が gonna do something. これからも. So これから literally means from here on going forward. The mo kind of emphasizes that even more. From now on going forward as well. 元気に once again in a healthy manner or a strong manner. 育つ to grow up in a strong manner. 元気に育つことを祈ります. So we talked about this. こと we just use to turn 育つ into a noun, which we can then use as our object marked by the particle o, and then the verb inorimasu again. So to pray for, to hope for, to wish. So everyone was wishing that their babies would continue. So これからも implying they're growing up okay now. Also continuing going forward to grow up in a healthy way or a strong way.
赤ちゃんのお父さんは元気だから泣くのだと思います。たくさん食べて大きくなってほしいですと話していました。
Okay, so 赤ちゃん baby 赤ちゃんの something of or owned by the baby. お父さん so a baby's father, the father of a baby. は main topic or framework here. Then we have a quote followed by と話していました. But let's get into the quote. 元気だから so 元気、healthy or strong. だから because, so 元気だから because they're healthy and strong. 泣くのだと思います. So 泣く cry because they're healthy. And this no da, that's the situation with da being like an informal des. So I think the reason that they cry is because they're healthy. And then this to 思います. We use this to basically within his quote, it's almost like this is a quote here or an idea that he's thinking about, and followed by the verb 思います or 思う to think something. So you have to have like a full idea when you have と思います, and that と just says this is I'm ending my idea, and that's what I think. So 元気だから泣くのだと思います. I think that the reason they cry is because they are healthy or strong. Then we have たくさん食べて. So たくさん is a lot. We have our verb 食べる to eat in the te form, saying eat and. So eat a lot and 大きくなってほしい. Okay, so let's break this down. We have 大きい, which means large or big. When we want to say something gets large or gets big, we drop that e and we go くなる. So 大きくなる for something to get big. And then we can put that in the te form 大きくなって followed by 欲しいです. Sorry, I was going to make that a long ほ, but it's actually a short ほ, 欲しいです. So 大きくなってほしい. And when we have a verb in the te form followed by 欲しい, that means you want someone else to do something. So 大きくなってほしい. I want them to get big. And then the des is just there for politeness. So たくさん食べて大きくなってほしいです. I want the babies to eat a lot and get bigger or grow strong, right? And then once again, we have a と saying that, all right, this is kind of a quote. What comes before it? A full idea or a quote. So と, and then we have 話していました. So 話す to speak or to say something. Putting that in the ている form in the past tense to say that is what they were saying when we asked them. So this father of the child said, I think the reason that they cry is because they're strong and healthy. I want them to eat a lot and grow big. So, yep, Nakizumo is kind of a fun little event. You can research a little bit on that. I have never been to one, but I've heard a lot about them. We were gonna take my daughter to one, but we never had the chance. So, anyways, that is cool. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all the support recently, and I hope you guys are enjoying the articles and they are helping you in your Japanese. Keep up your studies. Keep listening to Japanese, keep watching Japanese, and I will see you around. Mata ne!